Welcome to the Women's Money Wisdom Podcast. I'm Melissa Joy, a certified financial planner and the founder of Pearl Planning. My goal is to help you streamline and organize your finances, navigate big money decisions with confidence, and be strategic in order to grow your wealth. As a woman, you work hard for your money, and I'm here to help you make the most of it. Now, let's get into the show. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so thrilled to be joined today by an entrepreneur who turned her own passion into a surprising second act business. Christy Howden is the CEO and co-founder of Wolverine Pickleball. Wolverine Pickleball is an unexpected entrepreneurial journey, and it is an upscale facility that is more than just pickleball. Christy is a leader in the pickleball business, as well as being one of the most tenured in the industry. Christy, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Well, it's great to have a local. Our businesses aren't far from each other. Business success. We actually met a couple times over the last few months, but one was at an award ceremony for small businesses in Michigan, and you were honored as I don't know if I have the words right, but a female founded small business. Is that right?
That is correct. Yep. Woman-led business. So yeah, it was fun to be honored. It was a fun night.
Congratulations on your award,
That's
and
huge.
thank you so much. We were thrilled to be listed as one of the 50 companies to watch in Michigan for Pearl Planning, and I just wanted to hear more about your story because I really started learning about your business, Christy, through loyal customers of Wolverine Pickleball who were just like, "You have got to get over there. It is so cool," and so I thought it would be so fun to tell a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey and, of course, talking about businesses, starting a business, experiences. I mean, that's a money story. So let's open it up.
Yeah. No, what a wonderful compliment to hear through word of mouth that you heard about us. Um, but yeah, it's a second act. I was a stay-at-home mom for 18 years. So was my business partner. And it was a New Year's resolution back in 2016 to learn to play pickleball. I'm avid tennis player, always looking for something quirky to try. And kids were getting older, but just looking for something fun to try. And I showed up to play in early 2017, and they told me I was too young to play. And I had to buy a senior in training card because I showed up at a senior center and didn't know it. So I paid $20 to qualify to be like a temporary senior citizen in training,
You
and
paid your dues
I
then.
paid my dues, and they taught me and were so gracious, and I loved it, and, my friend, who's now my business partner, Leslie, we just got like, "We want more." This was 2017, so no one really knew what pickleball was.
What
So
kind of courts were you playing on?
we were playing, at a school gym in Saline and Chelsea.
Okay.
Actually, quite a few school gyms opened up their gym, like their old schools, for pickleball. So it has a
Yeah.
wood floor, playing with like a wiffle ball, and it was just kind of the early days of the big pickleball wave. Um, so we'd play for a couple of hours multiple times a week, and we're just so hooked. But we're like, we need more people. We need more people that want to be more competitive. I don't want to beat up on 70 and 80-year-olds. Though some of them beat me up a little bit. So we started with the local community. We rented out school gyms. We ran community ed programs, just wanting to teach more people to play and get them involved. Ran big tournaments, like turning the tennis courts of schools into big, these like niche world of pickleball. We'd have people travel like from 5 different states in Canada for these tournaments. So we'd have a couple hundred people there for them. And COVID hit, and we found a warehouse to convert into 4 pickleball courts. And this was like just a drafty, dingy warehouse. It used to be a food distribution warehouse. We DIY'd it with the help of our community, actually. Every day for like 10 days, we emailed everyone we knew, which was about 1,000 people in the pickleball community, and just said, we're working on it. Who can come and help? And we'd have people show up every day. We had no idea who it would be to help us paint, to squeegee these floors. Like we had all these 55-gallon drums of acrylic and 2,000 pounds of silica sand, and we're mixing it all up and figuring it all out just, from YouTube videos, and created 4 courts as our minimum viable product to see if we could make it a go, because no one was doing it across the country. Pickleball hadn't gone inside. Everyone did pickleball. It was free, or it was like $2 and a free cup of coffee to play pickleball. So we were curating the experience to make it better and testing it out. And we soon went from 4 courts to 8 courts when the neighbor moved out during COVID. and we were jam-packed. And, we looked for land, found land, got zoning changed, just DIY bootstrapping it the whole way, learning as we go how to do it. And then we built this beautiful facility that opened in December of 2023 as one of the first truly pickleball-centric, pickleball facilities for pickleball, but we have all the accoutrements of, like, a self-serve tap wall, we have bocce courts, 6 sand courts for beach tennis, beach volleyball, we do all sorts of crazy activities, so we're kind of that community center for everybody, with the pickleball focus.
I love it. Talk to me with your business hat on. When you guys got started, it sounds like you saw the business case, but also you were like, we need somebody who's not a senior citizen to start playing so we can have opponents as well, like just looking for your community. How much of that was the passion and how much was like, hey, I could make some money doing this. This hobby could really be my job.
Yes, I mean, as any business, you find a need, a problem that you wanna solve, and that's what we were doing. We definitely thought there was a value to it, that we could charge more for it, and give a better experience with
Mhm.
quality of play. Because in any sport, if you have a mismatch of levels, it's not very fun for either the best player or the worst player, and, we just knew that was a problem, and some places weren't very welcoming. A lot of men, playing and they beat up, that's just stronger and faster, and that's just not as a woman, it's not always welcoming, and we
It's
wanted more equality.
inclusive.
Yeah, so we wanted more inclusive experience, and it was a lot of passion to get it going, to find more people to play. I mean, it was us pounding the pavement, like, we went all over Michigan with, like, a little clipboard and said, "This is our dream, we get your email list or email for our list, this is what we plan to do," and people years later thought, "There is no way those girls are doing anything." Like, we hear from it later and, like, we're like, "Alright, we'll do it," but didn't think it would ever go anywhere, but we just kept plowing away.
And were you like feel free to be like, "No, we don't share numbers," but were you cash flow positive in those early years when you're, kind of training and building the love of the sport?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I mean, it was a lot of sweat equity into it. We weren't taking anything up for ourselves, but, the commu using the resources in the community, like the
Mhm.
community ed, the school system was very welcoming to entrepreneurs. Like, um, Ann Arbor area, our whole area is very robust for community ed programs compared to around the
Yep.
country. And it's a great way for entrepreneurs to get started to test the waters. And you find so many resources when you start asking for them. Like, we worked a lot with Washington Community College for help in finding resources and guidance. We've worked with the University of Michigan. There's all these pockets once you get going, that will help you along the way, and, you do it scrappy. It doesn't have to be perfect to start, and, even, like, our drafty warehouse, like, people suffered to play there. I mean, they would wear it as a badge of honor. I mean, we'd have the sheriff come and, like, "Okay, you gotta teach people how to park on the road, like, we gotta get all 4 wheels off on the side," like, and we'd have to churn them out. We'd buy cases of beer for the guys next door if people parked in their parking lot, like,
Yeah.
there were, like, little quirky things that we were just constantly
It's problem
reiterating.
solving.
It's always problem solving, and a lot of entrepreneurs, you just need to start and learn from it and reiterate. I mean, we laugh at, like, what our first event was, like, we were given high fives, these are like, "We did it." We had 12 people show up.
Yes!
And today we have, well over 300 and some odd people a day come through,
That's
for
amazing.
different events, so it
Well,
all starts well.
so, how did you start to have the vision for this pickleball dedicated brand new location facility go from, the borrowed or the, rehabbed warehouse nobody wanted to a destination that people rave about?
I mean, it came down to what we want, what we were looking for, just as our change of life, becoming an empty nester, like, what was I gonna do next? You're in transition,
Mhm.
and we have a lot of our players in transition, and so it's like, what are we craving? What do we like to do? I had an arts and crafts kind of background in business before that I did an online business while I was a stay-at-home mom, and it was like, I did classes, and I loved those, and it was fun for finding a place for adults to interact, so we just kept thinking, what would be more? What does our community need more of? And what do other adults in our situation are kind of, wishing for, kind of like not knowing what they crave. And then with the pandemic too, I mean, we're really a true silver lining of the pandemic, having our
Mhm.
warehouse then and finding ways for people to interact and people craving that connection with others. And so we just kept trying to find other ways to do that. So we just kind of figured out the business plan. I mean, it was like, okay, we have pickleball, what else can we do, to ride that out? Because there were no comps around the country to look at. So we
Right.
had to develop the plan of how we would do this and hustle our way through it to prove to banks with our business plan for our loans and everything. What can we do? I mean, that's why we have all the outdoor activities, why we have a bar. We just are adding a restaurant because we're just keep reiterating and growing as things have changed and our dynamic has changed to offer more things to more activities.
Well, if I could just pause, as we're talking about your business journey and mention that for people that are, budgeting, thinking about how to use their money as a resource, you're describing that you've become a destination for people seeking community, for people seeking purpose, activity, passion, connection outside of the digital world. And so I would just encourage people, if you're feeling like you're missing something in life to, be exploratory and looking for things like the resources that Christy has provided with Wolverine Pickleball, because that's what so many people need, especially during transitions. If there's a job interruption, a loss in your life, a plan for retirement, which can either feel like a victory or a loss, or sometimes both. It's just extraordinary to be able to provide community and connection in an increasingly lonely world.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, that's why we actually have everything set up activity wise to sign up as a single for it. You sign up as an individual, and we have it incredibly organized. So there's no awkward moments that we have created a culture of welcomeness that people are introducing themselves, getting to know each other. We get testimonials from people that they've never had this many friends in their life. Just through all the different activities. And I agree, it's more connections, multi generational connections, just a cross section of the community comes through our doors, and it's really special to see people maybe reconnect that they haven't seen in a very long time here, or just to make new connections across the spectrum of people. It was something we didn't expect would come of this, and it's been really rewarding to be that fabric in the community.
That's fantastic. So you shared just a moment ago that you got small business loans, and financing to help with, building your location. Makes sense. This is not a, low cost endeavor. You've also shared with me in past conversations that you have investors as well. And in fact, many of those investors are female. Is that right?
Yes, all of our investors came from our community, and actually 80% of it was women-led investment. So maybe it was a husband and wife, but the wife was, well, driving it, but we have a
The
lot of
decision maker.
women, yep, women investing in it. So they saw us doing the hard work of what we were building and wanted to be a part of it. It was definitely a lifestyle investment for people,
Mhm.
because if all of them took it to their financial planners and they all said, "No, don't do this," um, and so they had to override that and say, "No, we want this for our community, and we see that it's gonna work, and we see the future of it," because there was no one else doing this around the country, so we were leaders in that way. So they took a risk on us, and down the
And
path.
we should pause for a moment there and talk about what happens when financial advisors get, pitched a business idea for their clients. I do think, I don't know what the feedback you received, or even, if you were working with financial professionals that were like, "Whoa, hold back." But, um, I think a lot of first of all, in our world of financial planning, we're regulated, and we can't often make recommendations on investing in things that we don't have certain regulatory insight into, which a small business would not have, the appropriate, like, kind of kosher documents for being regulated. But there are ways around that as a financial planner as well, where you can talk about cost benefit. You can certainly talk about trade offs. You can talk about, that many investments in small business, maybe an investment in passion, and have lower, potential returns, but still possibilities. There's ways to get around the fact that it's from a regulatory sense, it's difficult to make a recommendation. I always just talk about, like, is this money that you have to have versus money that, could disappear? And that's still okay to say, to give your blessing. So just financial advisors are almost always going to be skeptical about investments in private businesses. And hopefully they're disclosing along the way that, how they're regulated as well as how they're allowed to make recommendations within their companies. We're an independent company, but some companies are monitored and controlled by like larger entities. And so that's just an interesting, kind of like aside in terms of our conversation, knowing that you might need to have a frank discussion with your financial planner or financial advisor, to see how they approach these things always. Like, hey, do you say no to everything? Just so that you have good context for their point of view.
Well, and it was a strength for us to find out too, to hear those no's. It's like, okay, we can improve what we're presenting
The
and get
business plan.
business plan and get more depth and we ended up stronger for it in the long run. It's tough during the process, but we got there.
That's fantastic, and I mean, if you review numbers, female-led businesses have a lot of success, but it's also extremely difficult to fundraise. As females, you just look at the statistics and say, "How can it be this difficult?" Whether it's, a small business, a venture-backed, business, all the way through private equity. So, that is just a reality that we as female entrepreneurs need to know and understand and overcome, because it is, kind of just statistically a deck stacked against us, when you look at the studies.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. I'm
So you gathered the money and the game plan, you broke ground, and tell us about, where things started and where they are today.
I mean, we've come a long way. I mean, we've got a 38,000 square foot building. Like, never
Wow.
dreamed this would be my path in life. It's just, yeah, or to own a bar, have a liquor license. I mean, my college self would be so proud of all all that I've learned to change. So it's still a growing business though. We've got the pickleball that's been rocking it out here and still an entry point for many people to come in as a it's as a wave of pickleball has kind of come across the nation. That's an entry point for people to come in, but we have so much more for them and they can come in at different points. We find that most of our clientele are lifelong learners. So
Mhm.
it's one of those things that helps you flourish in life to have that thirst for trying something new and learning a new passion. Cause like pickleball, no one grew up really learning how to play. I mean, we actually around here, they did teach in high school for like the last 20 years. So we've kind of got a little bit of that. But it's something to be getting good at. A lot of us, our best days are, in sports are behind us, but that's the beauty of like pickleball and some of the other activities we offer that you can still be getting good at something and keep learning and developing. So that's why we offer things like mahjong, which is another hot trend right now. But we'll offer like last night we had pressed flowers class as an arts and crafts kind of thing. We do the goat yoga trivia, so tests the mind, and then we have like bocce and beach tennis. We're making a thing around here because that's normally a Caribbean, South American sport. But we're making inroads. I mean, the beach volleyball and adding a new restaurant. So we're always developing something new for people to do, just to get more people connected through the community. That's kind of become our mission is to be that second or third place for people to hang out. Cause I think just post COVID, just with the technology, people need to be more analog. It just enriches your life just to interact with more people. And you might not realize what you're craving, but once you get a taste of it, you want more, is what we found.
Well, for you personally, and your, colleagues, your business partner, how do you avoid I know that a scaling, growing business on the outside looks so amazing, but it's also exhausting. It's, there's the underlying, hits and misses when it comes to, making the right choices, the need to, kind of, recalibrate. How are you managing your own mindset and energy level and, making it work on, with a lot on your shoulders?
Oh, yes, there is quite a bit. Entrepreneurs are definitely built different. It's a roller coaster. You never turn it off. What's going on in the business? Everything from payroll to business there to the building issues and things like that. So I mean, the nice thing, we're kind of in the business of spreading joy and happiness and fun, so that's
Yeah.
nice and energizing to do. We do a lot of things like I personally wanted to try and do, so that's fun. Part of it, connecting in the community. We're giving a lot of opportunities for other entrepreneurs. Like we work with like the local community college to help up and coming entrepreneurs. Like that's where kind of like the Goat Yoga, Ann Arbor Mahjong Club's like a newer entrepreneur and can give them opportunities that we didn't have, which is really satisfying. But, for my own mental well-being, I think it's the energy that we bring into this. It's just I come into this building and it's like a warm hug. It just feels good to be here and know so many people, in the community. I mean, I my circle has expanded just being part of it. So I think that energizes me, and we have such a trust in our community that they are willing to go on the ride with us. Like, they know the effort we're gonna put into things, that we really are gonna vet it. It's gonna be awesome. So they're gonna go along with it and go, "Okay, let's give it a go. We're gonna support 'em," 'cause they know how hard we've worked and all the benefits they get from what we offer here at Wolverine. So, uh, it's been special in that way. So I think that's what makes this business unique,
Mhm.
and the struggles that, all businesses have. It doesn't feel so lonely, just because we have that community around us.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference, and, the purpose of your business is a touchstone for renewed energy, renewable it's a renewable resource, for a business owner, I think, so
Yeah.
I can hear it in your voice as you describe what you're up to. So what's next? How far out can you see what's going on for Wolverine Pickleball? That's always, kind of a challenge, especially for a company that's dynamic and growing, is, like, where are we building toward?
So, I mean, we're always amazed there's still a lot of people in the community who haven't heard of us, or they think we're just pickleball, so we're getting that, more out in the community. We do a lot of company team building, so we're trying to grow that aspect of our business. We just finished building out a kitchen so that we can offer, full service food and catering within our building, so we can do turnkey events. So that's a really exciting thing. We've got a James Beard, nominated chef, Kate Williams, who's a lady of, the house down in Detroit, which is a very noted restaurant. So we're really excited about that's opening in next, shortly. So we'll have those hours available. So we're excited about what that'll be to make this really a summer hangout. We're developing more of our outdoor things. So we always are finding something to more activate our spaces, as it comes in. Well, there'll be surprises along the way. I mean, I think that's part of it. It never goes to plan, in good and bad ways, owning a small business, but we've been excited. The Mahjong's been a ton of fun, so I think that'll keep growing this year, and we've got some other things up our sleeve for the fall.
And it sounds like you're incubating other businesses, so you have a space where other businesses can partner with you to use your space to grow their allegiance as well, is that right?
Yes, we try to, connect with the community as much as possible. So we have a lot, like, even our tap lines, we have a lot of local breweries on there. We've got stuff from Mothfire, Wolverine Brewing, Jolly Pumpkin, that's in the community. So we try to, support each other, because it's like all the small businesses, that's what makes this area special.
Mhm.
And that's you want the flavor, the character to make your community different. So, like, work hard to support other small businesses and be that incubator to give people a leg up, the things that we wish maybe we might have had, as we were building our business, and we'd like to put our marketing might behind them with all of our community, to help them get a good launch and get their business going.
Well, and I would say, like, one of the things that I learned, I was a second generation owner of another company, but it was larger and it wasn't as much of my own story. And when I started pro planning, it was shocking to me, but so amazing how people were so excited to support a new business, and to share our story, and I'm sure you've experienced the same. But I think hopefully it goes without saying for our listeners, but small businesses are, kind of the heartbeat of communities. They make, the Washtenaw County, Dexter, Ann Arbor different from, the next towns over or the next state over. And, the business owners really need your help because so much of our businesses are local. And that kind of help can come in so many different ways. It's the word of mouth of people telling me about Wolverine Pickleball. It's the comments or likes or referrals for a company like Pearl Planning, and there are so many little ways that people can support small businesses like ours that are, so easy to give, almost free, but mean the world, at least to me, and I'm sure you
Oh,
as well, Christy.
oh, absolutely. I mean, word of mouth is huge. Just even like a Google review or a
Oh
Facebook
my
review,
gosh, yes.
telling a little story about your experience there just goes so far in helping a small business be seen on the, on searches. So, like, yes, I agree. Those are little hidden ways that people can help, but besides patronizing the business and just
And of course that too.
yeah, you definitely need the patronage, um, but, yes, little things like that, sharing reviews, suggesting it to other people, bringing in friends, buying the gift card for someone's birthday or, company having a company outing, to get more exposure or whatever it is, I think that goes a long way to making the community special, and how we give back to the community too, we're always donating to, the school auctions and being part of it to support them as well, and we hope it is always reciprocal.
Yes, it's a compounding effect of just
Mhm.
good vibes and, good economics in a community, and I'm putting a stake in the ground. I told you, Christy, that we're definitely gonna plan a team event, soon at Wolverine Pickleball, so, everybody can hold me to it that's still listening on the episode. We'll plan it for this summer, but thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find Wolverine Pickleball and, follow you in your journey?
Definitely our website, wolverine-pickleball.com. We'll have connections to everything that we do to be able to reserve a court or see an activity. We recommend signing up for our newsletter that gives our events every week. We're not just pickleball, we do a lot of fun stuff. So definitely come check us out. We're a good hangout. Just always something new and different here.
Awesome.
And
Thank you so much for joining us, Christy, and best of luck for continued success at Wolverine Pickleball.
same to you. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Women's Money Wisdom podcast. If you found value in this episode, the best way that you can support the podcast is to forward an episode to a friend or leave a review. Go to proplan.com and the podcast link to get all the resources and links mentioned. This presentation by Pearl Planning is intended for general information purposes only. No portion of this presentation serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personal investment advice from Pearl Planning or any other investment professional of your choosing. Copies of Pearl Planning's current written disclosure brochure and Form CRS discussing our advisory services and fees are available upon request or on our website platform at pearlplan.com. The information that we share is meant to educate and inspire, not serve as personalized financial advice. Everyone's situation is unique, so be sure to consult with your own financial professional for guidance that fits your life. And just so you know, the opinions shared in this podcast are Melissa's own and those of her guests. They don't necessarily represent any organizations with which Melissa is affiliated. For more important disclosures, please go to our webpage at pearlplan.com.